Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 of Star Trek Drake, a Star Trek Adventures actual play using the rules by Modifius Entertainment. My name is ELH, and joining me are some lovely individuals we'll get to know in a moment. Quick couple of announcements to start off the stream. Obviously, I've been off for a couple weeks, so I'm hoping that, knock on wood, I can get back into the swing of things and get all the games running as they should be in the coming weeks. So look forward to more content than the content lack that we've had for the past couple weeks. In that regard, again, knock on wood, Star Trek Age Year will finally premiere, again, knock on wood, this coming Friday at 9 p.m. Looking forward to that. And we also have a new Cyberpunk Red Max TAC game set in 2077 that will be starting on Sunday at 5 p.m. So if you like Cyberpunk 2077, if you liked Edge Runners, if you like Cyberpunk in general, would recommend. Especially because the buddy cop I have selected of players, I think you're going to have a good time with them. I think you're going to really like them. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have any announcements, so let's get players' introductions and get this show started. So Peter, what you got?
Hey everybody, I'm Peter or Petrus Aquinas out on the interwebs. I play the culinarily challenged Zindi Primate Captain, Thalen. And if you want to find me elsewhere, I am on the Drunken Dice podcast over at Roll and Review.
Yes. You're a spy.
I'm your spy, our Jeremy, and I play our ship's illustrious chief engineer, A.C. Chatham.
Sunbay.
I'm Sunbay, also known as Jeff. I play the St. George-inspired human exo Commander Tucker Cole. I did it again.
Certainly last but not least, Mr. Nemesis.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Randy, also known as Dr. Nemesis online. I play the ship's human Alabaman Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Early Langerhausen.
Okay. And with that, let's get the introductory video going. All right, and welcome back. So, since this is a part 2, I am going to have the players do a supplementary log to get everyone mostly up to speed, and then I'll sort of fill in the blanks. And I believe, Dr. Early, you have the honor of the opening log, so at your discretion, take it away.
Chief Medical Officer's log, supplemental. The Drake remains trapped by forces I ain't even going to pretend to understand within the wake of a abnormally large comet. Of note, however, is the medical procedure I just performed with the assistance of our engineer, A.C. Chatham, on a Tholian, which is not something that has been done in Starfleet records before. So I'm very excited about that. However, I do find myself at something of a moral impasse, for during that procedure, in a gesture that did save a life, I'm fairly sure, AC revealed to me that he has been concealing information that he had gained about the very secretive alien race we encountered earlier, the Rylans. We encountered the very last survivor, Vom, of this species and attempted to cajole him into sparing himself from a honor-bound suicide. But once we realized he was set on a course for self-destruction, we thought that perhaps at least a record of the Rylans' history would benefit the understanding of Starfleet, and Vom refused to share it with us. So how it is that AC is in possession of this information, I cannot say. I have yet to report this up the chain of command, as I hope to address my friend and fellow crew member personally before we have to get the chain of command involved. And log in.
have 1 momentum for that. So, since it is something you deliberately singled out, I do want to give you and AC a few moments together before we do a full senior staff meeting. Let's set the scene that you two are actually like 10 minutes early to the briefing. So you have the conference room to yourself on deck 8 for the moment. And it's sort of to set the scene as well. You still kind of have the comet trail out of the window. Again, you are sort of locked in place relevant to the comet. So it actually just kind of looks like the rocks are standstill with particulate flowing past the windows. Other than that, you have a few moments to yourself, so I'll let you handle it.
Howdy, Commander. Burning the candle at both ends, I presume, trying to get us out of this situation we're in, eh?
About that.
Well, you have my sympathies. I was not afforded an opportunity to offer to you my gratitude for your assistance in that medical procedure. I think the Tholians may not fully appreciate how invaluable your insight was.
Anything to keep us flying and avoid an interstellar incident.
Now that we've avoided incidents between our civilization and others, perchance we have an opportunity to avoid incidents within our own crew?
The encyclopedia.
Something along them lines. It has occurred to me that a man could offer a friend his silence if he felt he wasn't morally compromised in some way.
I don't think I'm morally compromised, Doc. I think I was just trying to understand it. I couldn't have kept it forever. And now I don't know. I can't solve my problems by looking into someone else's history. I'll turn it over.
Would you characterize the secrecy of this history as the dying wish of our friend Vaughn?
He left it to me to decide what to do with it. I think I've been holding on to it as some kind of talisman that could erase that I could find some meaning for past mistakes or mistakes that I didn't even make. But
allow me to address you before you make any decisions as your doctor instead of your friend. If you were given that decision to make, then it is within your rights to make it. And it is not within my rights to steal that from you. I can only tell you that my opinion is Starfleet would benefit greatly from that information.
I agree. And it shouldn't be mine to keep. I think maybe we want to discuss this after our current conundrum is resolved and we can return to we can return to Federation space so that I can present it to I don't know.
Well, won't you do me a little favor then and tell me that you feel the secrecy of this information is impacting your mental health? Because under such circumstances, I would be honor bound as your doctor to keep that information confidential until you told me it was no longer confidential.
Doc, I think I think that revealing this secret would have a negative impact on my mental health, particularly in this situation where we need to be focused. I assure you, however, as your friend, that this situation will not remain so. That work for you?
Good enough for Starfleet, good enough for me. Now, one more thing as your doctor, you need to get some rest before you work yourself to death. Just saying.
I'll sleep when. No, I don't even have the gallows. Yeah, I know you have the gallows humor for that.
All right, well, look sharp. I think I hear the captain coming.
And it's about that time that Captain Thanon and Commander Cole, you guys walk into the briefing, and Zygen follows just behind the two of you. And for the moment, you guys have a full conference room to go over what the hell just happened with the Tholians, what you're dealing with the comet, and apparently the sentient creature that is within the comet egg, I guess we're calling it.
So
All
this
right.
is really a dragon, sir?
That is what we could detect. That's what Zygen and I were able to find through the sensors when the Tholian revealed that there was some sort of sentient creature inside of it.
Commander, ain't nothing could hatch out of a comet that would seem normal, so might as well be a dragon.
True that.
I mean, it is headed for a star, so the question is, can it survive that? But Zygen, I know that we've started work on a method to communicate with the creature. I don't know if you've had any more thoughts. I don't know if we have anyone on the ship who has some telepathic tendencies that may aid us in that venture.
Zygen, if she had a full face, because again, Zygen being a interesting character all the same, being a Drella, she's, again, a kind of gaseous creature that sort of pilots around a mobile suit of armor, kind of like living armor in Dungeons & Dragons. But her faceplate just kind of tilts slightly to the left, and she says, to my knowledge, Captain, we actually don't really have any betazoids on board. So as far as mental linking with the dragon creature, to my knowledge, we don't have anybody like that. What I can say, though, on the subject matter of the whether it's can survive entering a sun, my thinking is either it's going to be using the heat of the sun to incubate or hatch, or it's going to burn up when the comet burns up, and I couldn't tell you one way or the other which it'll be.
That's a very interesting proposition. I hadn't even considered the fact that it would want to run into a star. I mean, it'd have to be made of some pretty tough stuff, though, right? I mean, wouldn't that strip normal matter down to little bits?
It would, yeah. And now that we're in the comet and trapped within its tail, and I can actually scan the comet, if anything, it kind of looks like the ice trail that's kind of falling off the comet. I think that's just the outer layer of something that glued itself to the actual container for this creature.
So we won't know what the actual composition of this thing is until it gets closer to the star.
Well, about
whether
that,
or not,
sir. And Zygen kind of looks at Commander Cole. We could attempt to drill with the phasers if we really wanted to get a sample.
Until we're able to communicate with this thing, I don't know that that would be a terribly prudent choice.
I also vote for ask questions before shooting.
So only because the Tholians seem to be rather mortified that we were removing debris out of our way.
Yeah, that set them off.
Did they say what their intentions are now that their situation is a little more stable? Are they going to do something to the comet?
Well, they're still on our ship. Because their ship is, I believe, still uninhabitable.
I think of a Tholian ship as pretty uninhabitable on a good day. Yeah.
Well, you're not wrong, but uninhabitable for them.
Yeah.
We could probably actually go onto it with spacesuits at this point, but...
Well, I suppose they might have some ideas about how we could proceed forward.
We could ask, since they were the ones who first detected that there was a sentient being, they may have some insights into how, or perhaps they were trying to communicate it with them before they started to lose atmospheric integrity.
Well, you can bet your bloomers that we're on their good side right now, at least. We done save some of their lives.
As much as we can be, at least.
Might as well take advantage of that. All right. Let's, Zygen, can you tie us into the makeshift medical bay for the Tholians. See if I can talk to the commander.
Tying you into the hot lab now.
Me and Nurse Ricky have been calling that the fishbolian. Just, if you need something to call it.
Taking a thread for that pun. In any event, though, yeah, you a view of the interior of the hot lab and the blue Tholian, whose name is Commander Pearlzine, because it has been a while. Pearlzine is there, and don't worry, Commander Cole, your on-station security officers are in the background, so they are present. But yeah, Pearlzine, who I think I was doing a Sean Connery voice for.
Oh, very much so, yeah.
He just kind of stares at you in that very, very still Tholian way and says, you must be Captain Thalen. I would say it's a pleasure to meet you, but what have you learned about the creature and the status of my ship? Is there a chance that we could get out of this predicament?
Well, Commander, we're working on that currently, and we were actually wondering if you had any more insight on the creature.
Well, let me think for a moment. I do believe that the most, I guess you would call it stimula, the most stimula it reacted to is on the X-ray band of the spectrum. Unfortunately, we didn't get a whole lot of data in that regard before our life support systems failed, but if you were able to repair our ship, we might be able to recover some of the logs.
Okay. That's helpful. Thank you, Commander.
There is just one small problem with that course of action, and long story short, the security systems are tuned to dispose of any non-Tholians that might be aboard. So, if you do go over there, just be with the mind that you're going to be shot at quite a bit.
Understood. Is there any way that you could give us perhaps a signal that we could put on our EV suits to give off alternate life signs to until we're able to deactivate the systems?
Well, that's not really something that we do. It just sort of automatically detects if you're a Tholian or not. I'm sure one of my underlings that is no longer with us probably could have described it for you, but my understanding is that it is keyed to Tholian life signs, so I think you have a good idea. I just couldn't help you implement it.
All right.
I suspect the systems will happily disarm themselves once we've all been disintegrated.
Well, that is... Thank you, Doctor.
We might be able to cobble something together, I think.
All right.
I'll see what we can do.
Thank you, Commander. If you need any help from myself or Zygen to work on those life signs to make it work, just let us know.
Captain, if I may.
Yeah.
Commander, you seemed a little bit concerned when I said that we had shot torpedoes at the tail of the comet to create dust to help identify the glutonic web. Did you try to do any drilling on the actual surface of the comet?
And now we have a very important role. So, Cole, and probably you're going to want Thalen to assist you on this one, because I think you both have the command and con scores for it. This is going to be an insight command or insight con. I'll let it be either. And I am going to set this at a difficulty of 4, and anything related to people reading, body language, class-Y creatures, Tholians, any focus that would be remotely...
Cultural studies?
I'll give you cultural studies.
Negotiation diplomacy?
I'll let you have it in this instance. I'll give it to you.
All right.
So, insight's the attribute.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. My insight's 11. My command is 5.
I am 7 and 4.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we want me to take the lead on this one then. Okay.
And by my count, with chat chipping in, you have 3 momentum to spend at the moment. And I have 1 sword complication as well.
Okay, let's use one momentum to give me 3 dice at least.
Okay.
Cole, you're assisting.
Don't want a little bit more time.
Looks like I see. There you go. 4 successes on
Well.
the nose. Very nice.
There we go.
Nice.
So again, the Tholians, when they speak, they don't really move about like we do as humans. You know, they don't really move. But there is just a very, very minute shift in the angle in which Pearlzine is looking at the screen. And both Commander Cole and Captain Thalen, you would pick up on it, as well as a slight reluctance in the commander's voice as he says, "That's, I mean, when we thought it was just a comet, yes, we did try to remove the obstacles that had kept us trapped. That is correct."
And how did it respond?
Well, let's just say that's kind of why our life support systems are damaged.
Good to know.
Well, thank goodness we're not shooting at it.
Not anymore, at least.
Yeah. All right, Commander. AC, any questions from you?
Not at the moment, sir.
All right.
Let me see what we can develop that'll hopefully keep us safe on a Tholian ship.
If I may, Captain.
Go ahead.
Commander, this is the doctor. Just a quick question about Tholian policy. Should we find out that the creature inside that comet is endangered by its course with the star, would it be your people's goal to save the creature, to intervene?
It's not really what we Tholians do, no.
Do you have a policy against it, or just wouldn't care one way or another?
We simply want to go back to Tholian space.
Understood. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, Commander, for your time. We'll let you know when there are further developments.
Screen shuts off, and you are once again alone, quote unquote, in the conference room.
Cold-blooded.
This just brings to mind the old saying, "Don't meddle in the affairs of dragons. Few are crunchy and good with ketchup."
I don't believe I've heard that before, Commander. I quite like that.
You've experienced ketchup, have you not, sir?
Yes, being in San Francisco, I was treated to various fast food restaurants that used them.
It
Gourmet ketchup
enhances everything. And yeah, I think if we can, I don't know. One thing I'm thinking is to get Zygen to start trying to make contact down along the X-ray band.
Well, we have a little bit of time. AC,
I
how
could maybe help with that while y'all are trying to figure out how to repair that ship.
Yeah. That's actually a good idea, Doctor. You do have expertise with the mind. So it would probably be helpful. What do you think, Zygen?
I mean, I'm not seeing a reason why not to go with this plan of action. I'm just trying to think of all the different ways we could use X-rays that might elicit a response. I'm not really thinking of a whole lot.
If this is anything like the old myths in human fantasy with dragons, they're extremely intelligent, even in a young form.
All right. So
do the Zindies have anything similar?
There's some mythological creatures of a similar type, I think, but we had the avians who would fly and do many of the things that the earth dragons would do anyway. Although I don't believe they breathed fire. I wasn't really alive for that, but I haven't heard it in the stories. But perhaps, Zygen, we could vary the frequency a little bit, perhaps, or perhaps the amplitude, perhaps signal strength is a way, perhaps similar to the old. I'm going to use an Earth term here, the AM/FM sort of spectrum usage of how to modify frequencies and, well, yeah, waves. So
Zygen shifts to look at AC. Actually, sir, that gives me an idea. Do you think we could create a pulsating beam of X-ray emissions from the deflector? That's just a thought. Is that something we could do?
I don't see it being a problem. And we're not exactly doing any navigating at the moment, so
no,
we're not worried about the deflect. We're not worried about the consequences of recalibrating the deflector. Let me do some napkin math and see what we can do. I would like to think and see if we can do that.
Okay, yeah. Let's call this a reason engineering difficulty of 3.
All right. I will spend 1 if that's okay, because we have it. Why not?
Mm-hmm. Just wait, we're going to need it later and we don't have it.
Would this be jury rigging?
Technically, you are thinking of modifying a temporary fix. Yeah, I'd say it's jury rigging. I'd give it to you.
All right.
There
Okay.
you go. 3 successes on the nose. Yeah, I mean, it's plausible, but the complication from chat that I'm going to introduce is that when you modify the deflector like this, how do I put this? You basically would lose your shielding until you reversed the process. Now, what I'm saying is you can still fly about without being torn apart by random particulate in space, but if anyone starts shooting at you, you are going to count as not having shields.
Well, we can do that, but unfortunately this would set up a resonance cascade in our shield emitters, so we could instantaneously restore navigational deflectors, but our combat deflectors, our shields, would not function until we completely reversed this change and did some extra work on the deflector to bring it back into calibration.
Well, that ain't good.
I see the disapproving look from my XO. Let's hold that one to the as a last resort if we can't find anything else.
Maybe start small, just a few X-rays. Maybe even bring the translating computer thingy into play. See if it recognizes any patterns from the comet.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Doc. Zygen, if you would, when you get back to your station, do some scans of the comet and see if there are any currently broadcasting X-rays from it that have a regular or semi-regular pattern, and then run it through the universal translator if you would.
Of course, sir. I can get on that right away unless you need me further.
I don't believe so.
I'll help you out there, Lieutenant.
I guess one more thing before you go.
Yes, sir.
Now that we're glutonically, it's more for Zygen, but your expertise as well. Now that we're glutonically bonded, if we were to apply our engines in a different vector than we're currently going, would that slow the comet or change the course in any appreciable amount?
And I think Zygen hesitates to say it, and again kind of glances at AC and says,
I will make this check. I have a significant amount of con and science and engineering. What would you like for that?
Golly, is the drink
I would
really
say
that
a
powerful?
reason in engineering again. The difficulty is only a 1.
Yeah, I think I know what the answer to this is going to be.
I think I do too, but I had to ask.
The answer still might surprise you. All right, there's your one success. So I'm going to use a real life example here. Are you aware of like the strongman competitions where like people, like a single person tries to pull like a tractor or like a really heavy thing? And I forget if this was a real thing or not, but I think one guy actually literally pulled like an AC-130 or some huge plane on a runway for a little bit. The problem isn't so much that you can't do it, it's the fact that you have to apply so much building pressure over time that if you do it the wrong way, the ship will literally rip itself apart.
Sir, we could. I'm not saying we can't steer this. I'm not saying we can't steer this thing. What I am saying is, the stresses are going to be tremendous and difficult to predict. So if we don't, we would have to really be on our game in order to be able to do that. And I would strongly recommend we make the minimum course changes possible.
And that's what I was just thinking about, is the farther we are away from it, the less we would have to deviate course to miss the sun.
Lieutenant,
geometry wise.
If worst came to worst, what if we detonated the Tholian ship?
Well, sir, I can tell you, for the personality reads I've gotten in the Tholians, that might take an awful lot of explaining.
I am well aware of the diplomatic fallout. I would not look forward to it, but if we were to detonate it as a thruster, would that suffice?
It's funny you say that, because Chad has just given me another complication. Your new helm officer comes over the comms and says, Sir, you wish to be knowing if there was change in comet or with Tholian vessel. Latest scans indicate Tholian reactor is reaching critical. We maybe have about an hour before it will go up.
Speak of the devil.
Doc, do you have the recordings? Do you have the lifetime recordings of the Tholian we operated on?
Of course I do. Yep, right here. Hands over a pad.
And do we have the recordings of the other denizens of our lab?
Those that the ship has been able to make without me sticking a probe at them, because they're awful cagey about that sort of stuff.
Right. I'm just trying to figure out if we can extrapolate what the life signs of a healthy Tholian would be based on the in-depth data we have from the injured one and the incidental data we have from the.
Yeah, I think I could model that for you.
All right.
To what end?
We should fix the ship, which probably means we need to look like Tholians, which means I need to see the maximum surface temperature of an EV suit.
Oh,
I will assist you, Commander.
And don't forget, Zygen is native to extreme temperatures and environments.
Also true.
And while that is true, sir, the only thing I would point out is that I'm not half as good as an engineer as the good Lieutenant Commander here. Now, small joke there, because she actually has an engineering of 3 and is reasonably skilled, but
Whereas the captain has a 1.
Actually, funny you mentioned that. AC is actually thinking of if anyone has to go, it would be him and Zygen, because Zygen might be able to rescue him if he, if something bad happens.
Yeah.
So
I was more speaking the captain would help you modify the suits for the life sign readings.
Yes.
If you're diving into a sunken ship, you should definitely bring the mermaid that's on the crew. I mean,
yes,
it's just good thinking.
Now, my other question is, and I'm just speaking hypothetically at this point, out of character, if your medical gadget stops working or doesn't work, what is your plan then? Because, I mean, if you bring Cole with you, then you have a security officer, you have someone skilled in, firefights and things of that nature.
Let me see how many suits I can modify in our suddenly abridged time, and that will help me govern, or that will help make that decision for me.
Okay.
Yes.
Lieutenant, what is your armored suit rated for? What conditions is it rated for?
I would be comfortable on a Class Y.
There you go.
All right, so that's that. Let me see how many. Let me see. Let us see how many suits we can modify, and if we can modify them at all. Doc, if you could work on that life sign model, I will try and come up with a way to broadcast that.
Roger, Roger.
Also gonna hit a comm panel and Thalen to transporter room.
Transporter room 2 here, sir. Aye.
Do some quick calculations for me. Make sure that we can do a quick transport to the Tholian ship. And do we have enough power to beam someone back?
Looks fine to me, sir. We're not in any danger of losing power. At least at the
All
moment.
right. Excellent. Just needed that confirmation. Thank you. Captain out.
Also, sir, just as a dotting our I's, as it were, we might want to officially request permission from the Tholians to board their vessel and repair it.
That's fair. How about everyone start your tasks, and
Yes.
I will ask Commander Pearlzine for permission. It was basically touched on, so I think we'll be okay, but it's best to ask.
Good luck.
Something else to think about when you talk to Commander Pearlzine, if there's any physical limitations between the Tholians and us, where you have to use 3 hands to open a door or to access a panel, anything like that.
That's a good point. All right. I suppose meeting adjourned, I will speak to the commander and I will advise you as to what he tells me.
All right. So we have a couple things that are going on at once here, and I'm going to do my best to bounce between them. So first things first, let's just quickly handle the captain conversation with Pearlzine. The commander does give you permission to enter his ship. He does tell you that, unlike a Federation vessel, the Tholians use all walls and ceilings. So
Right.
basically you're going to want to make sure that your boots or that you are aware of the gravity shifting as you walk up a wall, literally. But other than that, conversation goes well. He just reiterates that, and I think I'll actually say this in character. If, for whatever reason, you're not able to shave our ship, I would simply request that you contact the Tholian Assembly and ask one of them to come out and take us home, if it were.
Of course. We can certainly do that. Would it be, and we would try to make as much due haste towards Tholian space to make your time aboard as short as possible.
Well, that would be greatly appreciated.
Of course.
So that's that conversation. Next, we're going to go to the doctors. So, Doc Early, you are attempting to understand and mimic the life signs of a Tholian. That is going to be a daring and medicine, difficulty of 4 in this instance. And I'm actually going to say that there is a complication, but I'm not going to tell you what it is quite yet.
Oh, no.
Do I retain my temporary Class Y organisms talent from last
I
session?
forget. Is that per scene or...
You
I
dig
think
it
it's
up
per
here.
session.
If it's per
Once per session for the remainder of the session.
Yeah, I would say that technically, since this is a 2-parter, this is technically one big session, so I'm going to say you still have it.
Splendid. In which case, let's take a gander here. We have, 2 momentum?
Well, you've got 2 momentum by my count.
And then you said it's a diff 4.
Correct.
I mean, I feel as though if I roll fewer than 4 dice, I'm just dooming myself.
Oh, unless you use your determination.
I think I did. Oh no! The captain used a determination last
I gave
run,
you mine.
and AC used one, but I don't think I did.
Nope, I think you and Cole still have yours.
Would you be so kind as to accept some threat from me?
I'll take threat all day. Yeah, how much you want to throw at me?
Well, let me burn 1 momentum, and then I guess I give you 2 threat to get a 4th die.
That is correct. Yeah, we can do that.
Oh, no.
All right, see. Daring, medicine, task. My complication range is 2 because my walking encyclopedia talent increases my complication.
Goes to 19 to 20. And that is so.
What? That's my best roll yet.
Yeah, that is two
Holy
18s,
crap.
a 10, and a 19. So that's already one complication.
I wish to employ cautious medicine to reroll that 19 piece.
I mean, okay, so it is possible for you to re-roll that 19 and get another potential 2 successes, but there is no way for you to use cautious medicine and succeed here. I guess technically
I could
the
reduce
ship
the
could
number of
assist you.
complications.
Well, here's the thing. I guess go ahead and re-roll the 19. Let's get that out of the way. Go ahead and re-roll the 19. And
Could Ricky assist?
that's actually where I was going to go. Either Ricky or the ship's computer is going to help you. Okay, so you're at 2. All right. So if Ricky helps you, Ricky is rolling a daring medicine of his own. If the Drake is helping you, it is a sensors and medicine.
I'm pretty sure it should. Well, let me check my NPCs here. Hey, Ricky, how you doing there, buddy?
And as a
Daring
reminder,
of
the
9,
ship
medicine
always
of
has a
3.
focus, so you may take that into consideration.
It's an
Well, he
A2
doesn't- he
for the
doesn't have
ship.
He didn't have a relevant focus whatsoever.
Mhm.
8-2 for the ship seems fine if it's got a focus. That's what I think we should do.
All
Who
right,
wishes to
I need in order for this to succeed, I'm gonna need to see a crit from the ship.
I got ship up.
I am not touching that button.
All right,
Yep.
that is not.
Oh,
So here's the
no.
complication, and I want you guys not to meta this, but early, you think you have a working model that will work just fine.
Alrighty.
Seems legit.
Mhm.
It
Yeah,
does.
everything checks out.
God.
Here you are, Lieutenant Commander. I've got a fake Tholian biological profile. Well, I guess geological profile. I guess in a sense, this is sort of this is a sort of map.
It's an older code, but it still checks out.
Either way, it's a perfect match for the healthy projected Tholians life signs, based on our improving healing patient in there.
Thanks, Doc. Let me see. All right, so I'm going to set. I'm going to set us up for success here by setting tricorders such that they are the source of the signal. So we must wear these tricorders at all times. If they become damaged in any way, we lose our ability to do this.
Can they stand the heat?
Technically, it's
for a short time.
I was gonna say, it's also one of those weird things in the show, like, especially in Voyager, they go to Class Y environments, like where the Silverbloods are from, and their tricorders are perfectly fine. So I can only assume that they still work, but so we're gonna do this, and then I have something for Cole. So AC, to see how many suits you can get this onto, go ahead and roll me, or I guess technically tricorders and then suits. Go ahead and roll me. Let's call this a control and engineering difficulty of 2.
All right, let's see. I will spend this last momentum probably to see if I can get how many suits I can get. This is definitely jury rigging.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, you get your 2 successes, but there's a complication. You think you can get 2 life size or two suits completely fine.
Outstanding.
Looks clear.
Seems legit.
I really like how this mission's going so far. Like,
Oh no.
Why'd I have to make
I'm not gonna
things
say
so
it. I'll jinx it.
complicated?
Never mind.
All right. Okay. So I will put 1 suit on myself.
Mhm.
So I believe I've got 1 suit or 2 suits.
You have 2, so
All
you
right.
can take someone that is not. Zygen will just go as Zygen. She doesn't need a suit.
but you'll still need the Tholian life signs, right? 'Cause
Still will
otherwise
need
you'll
the
get cut out.
tricorder. And okay, so 3 tricorders but 2 suits, I think, is the conversion.
All right. Engineering to captain.
Thalen here.
Got 2 suits, sir. Who wants to go on an adventure with me?
Excellent. I look over at Cole. What do you think, Commander?
I can go if you need me to. I got a little bit of engineering.
Well, we know that Zygen, you're going as well. My engineering is pretty poor. So if you're better at engineering, Commander, it would probably be best if you go instead of me.
On a scale of 1 to 6, I'm probably 1 point better than you.
Fair enough. All right. Well then, Commander, I would suggest you suit up. And,
On the way.
Good luck.
I'll have the suit for you in transporter room 1, sir.
Don't you worry yourself about it, Commander. If he's
Looking
following my
forward to
life
it.
signs, if he's following the life signs I gave him, you're going to come off just like the crew of that ship to that ship. So, no sweat.
Before Zygen leaves the bridge, I'm going to tell her, good luck also, Lieutenant. I will work on the speaking to the dragon bit while you're gone. If you have any notes, just upload them to the console before you leave.
Just don't chase the dragon, sir.
There was one document, sir, which I mostly forward in jest, but she shows you on her panel, literally Dungeons & Dragons Draconomicon. Literally the Draconomicon.
And since Thalen is probably completely unfamiliar with this, he's going, oh, all right. And he starts flipping through it.
But yeah, as we leave Thalen, I don't even know what we call that, a fool's errand? It's something in that regard. One quick thing with Cole. So Cole, again, out of character, we know this is going to go to shit real fast, but Cole in character, what would Cole be preparing, if anything, for the away mission?
Would be going in with any type of intrusion tricorder that we had, one for trying to bypass, to hack if necessary, also to collect any possible intelligence to pass along to Starfleet intelligence.
Okay.
Always got that in the back of the mind.
Right.
It's sneaky. And weapons wise would probably just be hand phasers.
And phasers. Okay. So no cost for the phasers. And then...
Right. I would want to take an extra tricorder.
Okay. Well, you're an engineer. You can take as many tricorders as you want, conceivably.
Seeing our track record with tricorders.
Can I carry a whole crate?
The Rutherford duffel bag.
Yeah.
Bring a tricorder caddy.
Yeah.
There's a red shirt, you know.
Do you think we would need some type of demo charge, cratering charge?
I'd prefer not to blow holes in a potentially hostile species ship, but we may well need them.
So what I would tell you is that a demo charge would definitely cost you a threat. If you want the super secret Starfleet intelligence recorder with code breaking, hacking, blah, 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 that's going to be another threat. So
I'd take that one, the super secret Section 31 tricorder before the charges.
Okay. So just one threat.
If we have phasers, we should be able to cut through anything interior.
Presumably. So before we beam you over to the Tholian ship, anybody else have something they want to interject, or do we just beam you over?
Engineering to Hot Lab, Commander. Can you hear me?
Yes, this is Pearl Jean here. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't identify myself. This is Engineer Chatham. We met briefly.
Oh yes, you were the one that made the sonic device.
Yes. Quickly, I won't take up much of your time. What is the best place for us to beam aboard in order to have the best chance to repair your ship?
Well, if the problem is at the engines, you're gonna obviously want to beam in here, and he provides you a set of coordinates that, if you cross-check, is basically the main engineering. But you notice that since this is a Meshweaver craft, it's kind of just a flying or what do they call it? It's a triangular prism, I think it's called, where it's just kind of a big long cone that's triangular. You're obviously expecting to go to the back, but it actually beams you mid-ships is where he's telling you to go.
And if internal security systems were to go on, how would they engage?
Well, first, force field would go up and block any form of transport out, and then, I mean, you saw my energy weapon I was showing to your crewmen earlier. Many of those will emerge from the walls and ceilings and the floor and begin shooting at you.
And then come the chainsaws.
And do they have any replicating power, or once you take them out, they're out?
Once you destroy enough of them, they stop replicating, but honestly, we've never had to try and see how far they can go, but it is a damaged ship, so I'm hoping you only have to do it a couple times.
Well, knowing our doctor and the life science he was able to get over to AC, really just putting that as a contingency I don't even plan to use.
Very good. Best of luck. Alright. So, to set the scene before we go to break, Zygen, Cole, AC, you guys suit up in your EV suits with your special tricorders. You step onto the transporter pad, the beam materializes, you reappear within the Tholian engine room. Now, like I said, the Tholians use all available space, the walls, ceilings, etc. And the room is basically shaped like a buckyball. And if you're not familiar with a buckyball, it is more or less just kind of a bunch of, almost like a soccer ball, I think is the best way to think of it, where the soccer ball, each little side to it, is its own separate gravity constant. And that stretches to the center of the space. So conceivably, you could walk up a wall, jump, and still land on the same panel you left from. And of course, if it gets squirrely, I can explain it further. But as you all beam in to the floor, three things happen very quickly. First, a klaxon begins sounding. Second, the communications and life sign signals that the Drake were detecting, ready to beam you back, those get cut out. And third, turrets everywhere.
Hello, friend.
Hello, turrets, my old friend.
And I think Zygen looks to AC and goes, sir, if I'm reading this tricorder correctly, we're not looking like Tholians right now. We are looking like a Tarkalian razor beast.
I assume that's not native to Tholian vessels.
No, sir.
Jatham to Drake.
You don't get through.
Dead silence.
Engage.
Laser beasts.
But yeah, as we sort of hear the high-pitched whine of the turrets spinning up, that's where we're going to go to break. We'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes, everybody. Stick around. All right, and welcome back to part 2 of session 2 of Star Trek Drake. If you're just joining us, the players have beamed over to the Tholian vessel that is also trapped within the comet tail. And let's just say, through a series of complications, the players did not fool the security system of the Tholian vessel. So the away team that consists of Lieutenant Commander AC, Commander Cole, and Lieutenant Zygen is more or less going to be a firefight, is where this is going towards. But again, we're not going to actually deal with a map here. We're just going to kind of keep things nebulous. Again, the room you're in, the engineering room of the Tholian vessel, is like a buckyball or a soccer ball shaped room. The turrets that are immediately concerning are on the left and right above you on sort of the perpendicular walls. There's one on each side, so 2 there. And then there's one in the direct ceiling above you. So there's 3 you immediately have to worry about. And since it is a combat, the players do get to go first.
Quick question. Will there come a point at which we on the Drake notice that their stream has been cut off and that they might need some form of intervention?
You know
honestly,
immediately,
there's-
actually. It is immediately reported not only by bridge personnel, but also the transporter room.
Honestly, I don't know what else. I don't know what we could do, but okay, just checking.
Nothing at the immediate moment.
Engage.
So yeah, Cole, AC, which one of you, since it is the players go first in combat, do you guys want to go, or do you want Zygen to take a shot?
I'll start off. Hopefully.
Okay. So I don't know have we done ground. I think we've done a little bit of ground combat, but since it's been a while, I'll do a refresher. So you have a quote unquote standard action, or a major action, and a minor action. What I would say about the minor is minors usually for movement or charging your phaser. And the benefit of charging your phaser is you can apply various effects to your phaser shot, like area and spread, or vicious one, or piercing, things of that nature. But you have to declare you're using the minor to charge for that to happen.
And in this case, I will be using charge. The idea is to do a spread to potentially take out 2 or all 3 of the turrets.
At once. I like it. All right, so this is going to be a control security difficulty of, let's call this 2.
You got this.
So, and the number of successes I get above just goes to momentum, or
okay. Yeah, it's not like melee combat where you actually get more benefits. Yeah, range combat, very straightforward, just a control and security, and it's whatever you get.
All right, and we will use bold security to pull 1, give you 1 threat to get 1 momentum.
Okay.
It'll allow me to reroll 1 dice if I need to.
Okay.
And yeah, I think 3 should do it. And I do have a focus.
Hey, 3 successes, you get a momentum. Very nice. And also we do have a momentum from chat there, which I think we already did. So I think you're up to 3 momentum, all things considered. Perfect. So yeah, your security score is what, 4, 5?
Oh, it's a 5.
Both 5. All right. Wait, how is it both 5? How did?
No, it's security is a 5.
Oh, okay, got it. Let's see. Phaser type 2, 8 challenge dice, please.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
That is more than sufficient. So what I'm going to actually say is that with that, so if you'll indulge me, it's kind of like a Highlander moment where you kind of hold up your phaser at the turret directly above you and you press the button and it fires, but it doesn't fire a beam so much as it fires a cone that envelops the top part of the room. And you destroy the 3 turrets because, again, with that many effects on an area/spread, easily done.
Critical error.
Get out of here, GLaDOS. Get out of here. What I am going to say is that... I'm going to use the complication from chat.
Do it.
The complication from chat is that when everything goes quiet again and the alarms stop, AC, you look at the left wall where a turret once was, and you realize that you may have accelerated the process of the destabilization of the reactor. You have breached containment.
I got us time,
in
AC.
there don't react well to bullets.
Yeah.
Don't shoot at the thermonuclear device.
Did a containment force field go up?
No, that's even worse.
Oh no.
I got us some time, and I do the finger flips of the phaser, put it back in the holster. I got us some time.
Spending 2 threat that when you actually put it in the phaser, it doesn't quite get in and it just drops to the ground. Best threat spend in this game, clearly.
Really, sir?
Gravity differential I didn't account for.
Windshield.
All right, Zygen, time to earn Time to earn our munificent pay. Take out the tricorder.
Wait a second, you get paid?
It's a figure of speech.
I see. Oh, this is a human thing, isn't it? Oh. Speaking of which, I may or may not have made the captain believe the Draconomicon was a real thing he should read, so we might have to deal with the fallout with that later, but...
he should read it anyway.
Yeah, agreed. So yeah, since time is now a factor, sounds like an extended task, so let me just quickly type it out here. So let's see, work track of 13, magnitude, let's just make it an easy 4. I am going to set a resistance of 2 because this is Tholian engines, and by my reckoning, you've never worked on a Tholian engine before.
Yeah.
I am going to set the difficulty to start with at a 4, and I am going to institute that the complication range is going to start at a 19 to 20 before I spend any threat.
Boy.
And I would say to start the process, daring engineering would be prudent. And of course, Zygen can also assist you with their own daring engineering. Power systems is one of her focuses, so Zygen technically does have a focus here.
Oh, good. Okay, so...
Oh, wait, I forgot a very important thing. Intervals of time. You have 8 intervals before this thing destabilizes beyond control.
Great. I'm going to spend, 1 momentum to lower
Lower it, so it'll be 7 intervals instead of 6. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I think I will spend 2 momentum and give you a threat to make this a 4-die check.
Okay.
And man, I wish I still felt like I could discover things. But alas. So daring engineering, I have a focus on power systems and starship design and all of that good stuff. So let's get this started.
Oh. Actually, probably set up to succeed quite well. Also, I noticed that I wrote difficulty 4, but I only meant a difficulty of 5. I'll fix that. So that is a complication with 3 successes. If someone would care to roll for Zygen.
Let's see if I've got her, since I'm here anyway. Daring engineering or daring science for her?
Same as you, daring engineering.
Okay.
And I need to see a crit here from her. Not a crit, another complication. Oh boy. Do you have any way to
reroll? Does she have a determination?
No, and again, assisting, you can't use determination, so... Yes.
The red dice are with us this month.
Yeah, they really want to throw complications at you.
Can I give them my determination?
Let me check that real quick, because you don't have the captain's ability to just point and say, here's determination, but I know...
The EXO can do something like it.
Right. Let me just... This is one of those times where, people have never asked or made it relevant, and I've just forgotten what EXOs get. But let me see if I can find it real quick.
And the other thing is, I also
they
have
can
backup.
produce everybody. Yeah.
With backup plans, we get 1 more momentum.
All right. Let's see. Oh, yeah, backup plans. You would get the momentum back, so there is that option there. All right, I think I almost found it. No, I didn't mean for you to go all the way to the end. Why would you do this to me, PDF? There we go. All right, executive officer, here it is. When another character in communication with the executive officer spends a point of determination, the executive officer may spend 3 momentum immediately to let that character regain the point of determination.
You weren't there.
I just encourage them to get it back. In this case.
But it's the key thing is it has to be, you have to be in contact, and it has to be when they spend the point of determination.
Yep.
But let's talk options here, because there's another option that we can present here. AC, remember, you can challenge a value and get determination back that way. That is an option to you.
It's true.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I'm just trying to see which of these, if any of them, would be appropriate here. I mean, because going against the value is the thing, and all of mine are basically, I'm not going to give up.
Right. I mean, if it doesn't fit, we can just say that just this attempt is a failure. I think.
This attempt is a failure. I'm having the tricorder's having trouble translating. We're having trouble. We failed this round.
Yeah. All right. So you do get the momentum in the pool. And what I'm going to say then is, as you said, you're not getting good reads on the tricorder. It is otherwise vexing you, but the complications that you rolled as part of the process is that 3 new turrets spring from the wall, slightly different places than the original ones. So, Cole, I'm going to give you another shot to shine here. Do you want to spread attack again, or do you want to go individually?
Oh, same dealio.
All right. So yeah, go ahead, and that's going to be another control security, difficulty of 2.
And
I can at least tell you that at the moment I do not have anything from chat to complicate things. So
I'll give you.
Wait. Don't give them ideas.
I'll give you the 1 threat, so I can activate bold security.
Okay.
Go with 3 die.
Okay, you can reroll that 20. There's a lot of 20s tonight, but you can reroll it.
Reroll. Let's see, how does it go? Reroll results. Reroll 1 die. Or I can just reroll the 1 die, right?
Yeah, just the one with bold. All right, that is significant. That is your 2 successes that you need, no complications. So yeah, another 8 challenge dice, please.
Oops. 8, not 88.
I don't know.
Bit
If you
much.
really want to blow the Tholian ship from inside, that's one way to do it. All right, 8 successes with 3 effects. That, again, is enough to vaporize or otherwise turn the turrets into scrap. And the good news is that this time you don't make things worse for the engineers. So AC and Zygen, you two are working. You hear the blast of phasers behind you. And I guess you keep working, ?
Yes. And I also take out my engineering toolkit that I didn't use last time.
Does reduce the difficulty by 1.
And I'm assuming that does not stack with my tricorder. The tricorder doing the translation means that we can do this at all.
Yeah, so unfortunately, you can't double stack, but it will mean at least it's a difficulty of 4 instead of a difficulty of 5.
Okay, I'm going to again spend a momentum to reduce the
intervals to 6.
Intervals, and I will give you 3 threat to be able to, or is it 3 or 4 threat to get 4 dice on this check?
It would be 3 threat.
Okay, I will give you 3 threat to get 4 dice on this check, and I will make it again.
All right, see what happens. Yeah, there you go. Significantly different. That is 5 successes, meaning you get a momentum, and then if someone wants to get Zygen, again, daring engineering for her.
Yeah.
Daring engineering. Does she have a focus for this?
She does. I got it.
Yeah. Power
Oh,
systems.
you got it? Okay, go ahead.
Woo! Major difference from roll before. So that is 7 successes, meaning you guys are up to 3 momentum. And yeah, since you have an engineering of 5, go ahead and roll me 7 challenge dice to represent work done.
All right.
Okay, so do you have a nick in time, don't you?
And Miracle Worker.
And Miracle Worker, yeah. So that is 8, and it's reduced to 6 because of the resistance. But that is enough for 2 breakthroughs. So you do reduce the difficulty significantly. So yeah, after maybe perform a little bit of percussive maintenance on your tricorder, maybe you have a sudden flash of insight, however you would care to flavor it, you at least now understand how to lead the reactor through a full shutdown in a safe manner. You also, as an option, could simply repair it and leave it running. So that's kind of the choice you have to make here is, do you turn off the reactor or do you just fix it and leave it running here?
Oh, no, I'm going to fix it.
Okay. In that case, Commander Cole, since I was just given some threat, you got more turrets to shoot.
Oh, no.
I may not have the option to fix it after this check.
Mm-hmm.
Giving chat the direct ability to literally just fire at the away team.
Turrets incoming.
Yeah. But yeah, another control security for you, Cole, to see, again, make sure there's no complication, to make sure you actually hit the turrets.
Would you like another threat?
I would love threat. Yes, please, thank you. I would love some more.
I'll save that
What
momentum
could
for.
possibly go wrong?
I'll save that momentum for AC.
Okay, well, you do have bolt security. You can re-roll one of those.
We will re-roll one of them.
If it's a 20, I'm going to lose my shit. I might. Okay, it's a
Okay,
14.
thank
Good.
you.
We're good.
Okay.
We're good. All right. Another 8 challenge dice to see, just to make sure you do actually do enough damage here. Dan, that is more than sufficient. So, at this point, I'd like to maybe flavor a little bit that Commander Cole, you are not only a sharpshooter, but you are doing it in style where anywhere else, people would look at this and be like, is he throwing a rave? Is this some sort of a light show going on? But all of it is lost on AC and Zygen because they are laser focused on the engine, unfortunately.
I think there's some type of system problem with their internal security systems where there's a series feedback. You hit one, it just seems to take out multiple of their turrets.
Yes, their defense systems are definitely susceptible to awesomeness.
Indeed.
And I hope the tricorder's picking up all this for later. It's going to go in my highlight reel.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll find out together. But yeah, AC, you're at 6 intervals of time. I need 2 more breakthroughs for you. The difficulty was a 3, but you reduce it down to a 2 with your engineering toolkit. So really, 2 successes. That's all we need. That's literally all we need here. And while you're, again, rolling the daring engineering, I'll answer the question in chat. So the way it works, chat, how breakthroughs are counted is you have to do at least 5 work, or you have to do enough work over the work track. So if they had, say, 12 work, and since there's only 13 work required here, and they did 3 more work or up to 15 work, that would get them a breakthrough as well. So the magic number is really a 5 when it comes to getting breakthroughs, or again, completing the work track.
And AC has a special ability that means that if he gets a breakthrough, he gets another one.
Correct. It is quite literally the best talent in the game aside from advanced sensor suites. At least in my opinion.
If you're often doing...
If you're an engineer,
yeah. If you're an engineer. I'm an engineer. I solve problems.
I'm a big fan of the I'm a doctor, damn it talents, but I'm biased.
Okay. I'm going to spend 1 momentum to reduce the
intervals
time,
to 5.
And I'll spend 1 more momentum to get 3 dice on the check.
Okay.
And perform check, focus, 3 dice, 2 complication range, go.
4 successes. That's 2 momentum back already, and then 1 from chat as well. So you are back up to 4 momentum, and then Zygen assist, and let's see if you get any more.
I'm gonna ask Zygen to be suitably impressed with Commander Cole.
Okay.
I don't want a complication now. I really don't.
Okay, fair. So as Zygen turns and begins going, oh wow, those are really good shots, sir. I think it's going to be another 7 challenges for you. Okay, so that is 8, and that's enough. You managed to complete it in time. So since you did say that you were repairing, not shutting off the reactor, I would say that the high-pitched whine that was building, the heat that was pouring off of it, the cylinder that is glowing with a baleful orange light dims slightly, but your tricorder does confirm that it is no longer leaking radiation. The reaction inside is now contained and stable. You have saved the ship for the moment.
All right, sir, it's stable for now. I'm going to use my tricorder now to assess the condition of our EV suits.
Well, the good news is since the commander was such a good shot, you never got shot at, so your EV suits are fine. I think the only thing that I would point out is that you would be able to detect there are computer banks in the stations nearby. Again, stations being where any of the turrets were, just stations all over the walls. You would just have to interface with one of them.
Oh yeah, because we have to cancel the lockout so that we can actually go home. Okay, yes, I will go and do that.
Now, important
Would you like
question.
to use my special tricorder?
You have a special tricorder?
for.
I have a lucky tricorder.
Well, lucky could be better than an infiltration specialized tricorder. Don't ask.
That's an order.
That eyebrow says he wants to ask.
Understood, sir. Do I need a tricorder, or are the systems going to respond? Do I need an infiltration tricorder, or are the systems going to respond to me?
Well, I'm going to say with the threat I have, I'm going to say that your regular tricorder does not work, which means Cole does again have to reveal the presence of his special tricorder to you as well. That sounds wrong in retrospect, what I just said. Whatever, we'll roll with it.
All right, sir, show me what you got.
We're making it worse. All right, so Cole, this is going to be... Let's call this, oh boy, code breaking. What would code breaking be? Let's make this a reason and security. And I'm going to set the difficulty at a 3. And if you have infiltration, espionage as a focus, that would definitely apply here.
Hand-to-hand combat, because you need to...
No.
Never mind.
No.
It does
APS
say punch the
conduits?
keys, you know.
Punch the
no-
keys, for God's sakes.
Now, AC, would you like to assist on this one? Because
I can. How much of this have you done, sir?
very little. I've just kind of cracked open the book. This is one of these exo toys you get to play with.
For your information, I have a 13 in this, and I am specialized.
By all means, I can talk you through the basics.
All right. So okay. So do you want to take the lead, or do you want me to take the lead?
Oh, I'll let you take the lead, and I'll assist if necessary.
Okay. All right. I haven't seen one like this before. I take it an engineering toolkit will not aid me here.
Yeah, unfortunately, an engineering toolkit isn't going to do anything for you here.
And the infiltration tricorder is not aiding me. It is literally just making it to where I can make this
Making
check.
it possible, correct. Yeah, if you didn't have the infiltration tricorder, you'd basically have to get in and start ripping out wires and cross-connecting and all that. So you're skipping a step, basically.
Cool. What is my difficulty for this check?
It is a difficulty of 3.
Okay. I'm going to spend 3 momentum, probably, because I really don't want to fail. Exo, please assist me here.
And again, it is a reason security. All right, no help from Cole.
Using
Sure, it's
focus
fine.
4 die.
In my headcanon, y'all are trying to cancel.
Yep.
Oh,
There you go. All right, that is 5 successes, meaning you get 2 momentum right back. And yeah, AC, with Cole guiding you, you are given full systems access to the Tholian computer.
I will spend a momentum to have the tricorder do something that I am not aware of.
Okay, what do you have in mind?
Because it seems like a Section 31 tricorder would just do this.
Mm-hmm.
It would download as much data as possible.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I will spend the momentum to create the advantage, even though it could cause us problems in the future. And AC is not aware that this is occurring.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
It does indeed, yeah.
As long as you don't erase my highlight reel.
Spending 2 threat to create the complication that part of your highlight reel is overridden.
No! I'm giving you enough threats, so.
Okay, looks like we're in, sir. Let me see. Okay, now that I am in and I have full access, is it a challenge to
You can look
lower
up
the
nearly
shields?
anything.
Well, at this point, I'm acting in good faith. I want to lower the shields and make it to where we can beam back.
Yeah. You lower the shields, you are back in full contact. In fact, I'd imagine Captain Thalen is frantically trying to hail you at this point.
Thalen to away team. Come in, away team.
Sir, where have you been?
Commander, we have not heard from you for the past 15 minutes.
Oh, we've been calling. Yeah, apparently we set off the internal security systems, but
Okay.
AC was able to get in and shut them down and get the engines and power systems back online.
are y'all injured?
No, believe it or not, everybody's all hail and hearty.
Whew.
That is excellent. Glad no one was hurt, and that you saved the ship, so we won't have an unexpected explosion.
Nope, not this time.
Good.
Sir, I've got the ship patched up as much as I can. Permission to return to Drake. It's a little warm in here.
Yeah.
Permission granted. I will let Commander Pearl Z know that their ship has been mostly restored, and then I will continue working on the dragon problem. That book was not entirely helpful, Zygen, but it was interesting.
Yeah, my preacher warned me about them books. You might want to take them with a grain of salt.
I hope you enjoyed it, sir.
You get to the part on gem dragons, because it's not really, it's apocrypha.
Yeah, Gem Dragons is Draconomicon 3. I only gave him the first one, which I think was
Okay.
Chromatics. I don't know, sir. Did you enjoy the Chromatics or the Metallics? Very important question.
Very important.
I think I like the metallics.
Oh, I say follower of Bahamut then. Very good. Very good.
Really? So the metallics. Okay. Thank you, sir. I'm glad to hear that.
You just hear like a puzzled silence over the.
We can talk more about it later, sir.
Oh, y'all.
And what I'm going to say is when the comm shuts off and you're waiting to be beamed out, Zygen kind of looks at Cole and says, well, sir, I did get some of your feat of security prowess on my tricord. I didn't get all of it. That was pretty cool shooting. But just between you and me, hail Lady Tiamat.
I'm a Bahamut.
I believe we have reached an impasse, sir.
You're going to hold my files hostage, aren't you?
Let's just say I have ideas in mind for a little game, little later on.
This shall be interesting.
But yeah. While you're beaming back over,
transporter and 3D beam up.
yeah, I would say as you guys are beaming back over and returning to the ship, we're going to now go to Early and Thalen, since you two were working while this was happening. So you two were trying to decipher or at least get through to the creature using X-ray emissions. And in that regard, do you have any specific ideas, or should we just let the dice do a little bit of talking for you here? It's totally your call.
Yeah, I mean, the extent of my idea was to bring the translator into play so it could identify any behaviors or emissions as whether or not they're communicative in nature. But that's probably the sum total of my thoughts on the matter.
Yeah. Yeah. The other idea that I had required use of the deflector, which we're not using, because that could, put us in a spot. So, run it through the universal translator first, and then see if it comes up with anything, and then try to extrapolate from there. I think would be the first step.
All right. So, you all can assist each other, and again, the Drake is able to assist you here. But if I remember, where is that? Let me see if we can find it real quick. There it is. So this is going to be, actually, I think the computer or the ship is only the way to assist you. So either Early or Thalen, whichever one of you wants to take the lead.
I'll take the lead. I have linguistics as a focus.
Very good. The thing here is going to be a insight and engineering, or insight and science. And the ship will assist you with a communications and science. And the difficulty here is going to be a 3.
Captain, is there any way that a detailed anatomical diagram of a Tholian could help here? Because I've got a bunch of those to provide.
I don't think that they share any biological similarities with this dragon, but we haven't gotten a good enough scan yet, so...
Just checking. What's the ship rolling?
Communications and science.
Okay.
All right.
How much momentum do we have?
By my count, you should be at 4. No, 3.
Okay, well, I'm going to use 1 to give myself 3 dice, just in case.
Well, Drake did assist you.
Cool.
All right,
Oh,
well,
there you
there's 4 successes
Nice.
overall. Well done.
So we get the momentum back. Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get it right back. So, what you're going to realize is that the pattern that is being put off by the creature in the X-ray spectrum, it's the equivalent of sleep talking, where it's just random thoughts, random words. You know, they're translating, but they're not making any sense. So maybe the first words you get are ice cream, and then bus, and then green, and then cantaloupe, and it's just a jumble of random words and phrases that, again, are translating but are making zero sense.
Like a Bjork song, yeah. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the good news is we have cracked the whole idea of how it's communicating. Now we just got to figure out how to get its attention and then ask it if it wants to run into that sun or not.
All right. I would like to see if there's a way for us to reply using the conventional communications array. But if not, then we might have to go for the deflector.
I think
I have
we
a
can make
feeling
it
we're
happen.
gonna end
It's
up
just going to be
there.
difficult.
Okay.
And what I would tell you is this would be a control engineering. The ship will assist you with a communications and engineering. The difficulty here would be another 3.
I'll roll for the ship.
What's your engineering?
Early's?
Mhm.
I'm sure what you meant was, Lieutenant at the con, what's your engineering? Because Early's is 1.
So is mine.
Ironically,
what-
Kozlov has a 2 in engineering. So if you want to have Kozlov roll instead.
Kozlov's twice as good
Yeah.
as us. There we go.
I'm gonna have Koslov do the little bit of engineering stuff because
And
And what's
let me
the
see.
roll for the Drake?
The roll is communications and engineering for the Drake.
Okay.
Actually, her control engineering isn't half bad. That's a 13.
yeah, that's
We
much
go.
better than mine.
Yeah, so I guess whoever wants to roll Kozlov here.
Okay.
Well, I'll roll the ship, and that'll leave you, Kozlov, Petrus.
Yep.
Oh, wow. There's 2 successes already on the board. Very nice.
All right. This
Good
is
job,
difficulty
Basil.
what?
Difficulty of 3. So actually, you only need 1 success here to beat this
Okay.
thing. There's
Well,
your 1
there it
success.
is.
So Kozlov works for a moment after you give her the order, and she turns and says, Captain, I have established a, I guess you would call it, channel with creature. It is still sleeping, or at least what I am understanding is sleeping, but channel is open and is translating best that we are able to tell.
Excellent. All right. Now we got to figure out how to talk to this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even if it's in its sleep, it should have a fear response, an instinctive protection, fight or flight response if it senses danger. So my suggestion is we try to figure out a way to communicate the oncoming presence of a star, and see if it seems afraid or not.
Okay.
Now,
So
how we do that, I could not say. We could maybe send a burst of solar radiation type radiation. I'm not much of a science fellow, but something along them lines, maybe, or even
Lieutenant
just
Koslov, are we able to send images?
Conceivably, yes, sir. It's not exactly designed to do that, but I could be making it happen. Maybe. What image are we wishing to send? Image of sun?
Image of a hotly burning sun. Like, try to ramp it up.
Yeah. And you see on the view screen an image of like a blue giant star. She pulls up and says, "Something like that, sir."
Yeah. Let's see if it reacts to that.
Sending now. No response, or at least nothing is happening.
No discernible response.
maybe dragons don't open unsolicited email attachments.
Wait a second. I am having an idea. What if we show comet flying into star?
Oh,
Yes.
All right. So again, on the view screen, we see a comet flying into the star. She sends that over, and there is instantaneously a change in the creature's dialogue. It's still asleep, and it's still slightly random, but now it's more of a, as you said, a flight or fight response, where it's now saying things like move away, escape, avoid, things of that nature, interspersed with, again, random words.
Okay, so it doesn't
Well,
want to run into the star. Okay.
I'd say that's a pretty clear message. Now we just got to figure out how we're going to leverage it away from that star. Here's an interesting question. What if we send it an image of a comet orbiting a star? Maybe it still needs the energy, it just don't need to crash into it. That way we know how far we have to deflect it, right?
Well, all right, we'll be sending that. She sends it over. The creature calms down. It starts saying things like home, nest.
All right, so we don't want to just knock it off into cold space. Man, I wish AC were here. This is really his sort of wheelhouse.
Well, as it just so happens, at this point, Commander Cole and AC and Zygen can return to the bridge.
Whew. I was half expecting y'all to be burnt to a crisp, or at least sunburned.
It was close.
Still wearing my EV suit with just the helmet off.
AC, we have another engineering problem for you. Sorry to keep on bringing them to your attention. We need to divert the comet into a solar orbit.
Okay. AC goes and kicks the actually motions the ops person out of their chair and sits next to our helms person. Okay, let's see if we can let's see if we can model this out.
Now we got 2 sets of ship engines now to push it with, or pull it with, I guess.
And if we sent the Tholians back to their ship.
Couldn't
I wasn't planning on them moving in here.
Have you interfaced with the Tholian computer, correct? Could we not send remote commands?
I don't think we have that. I don't think we have that access.
Okay.
Out of character, you have that access.
Absolutely. I know that the tricorder did its magic, but AC
I doubt
again,
they'd appreciate
super
that.
good faith.
I doubt they'd appreciate us driving their ship for them.
Perhaps we could check with them if we could do that, if the ship isn't quite up to habitable levels yet.
Is it not?
I know that it was getting there. I just don't know if it's quite ready.
Oh, okay.
Lieutenant, let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can model out before we actually do this. So what would the check to be able to see if we can, because we know that we can move it. We just have to do it exactly right or the ship blows up.
Right.
So I'm trying to game this out before we actually do it.
Yeah. So on your part, you would roll an insight engineering. If Kozlov is assisting you, she's rolling an insight con. The difficulty on this is a 4.
Would helm operation or
Would definitely
survival
apply
help
for her. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, success from Kozlov, so I need to see 4 more successes.
Oof.
Oh, 4 more successes?
Oh,
What did I
look at
say?
them
Difficulty of 4 or difficulty of 5?
Diff 4.
Okay, then yes, you need 3 more successes. Sorry.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to. Man, I'm just eating all of the momentum in this game, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to give you threat and spend the 2 momentum we have,
Right.
because my insight is not great. My engineering is. Check. 4.
Okay.
That's
so
2.
That is
Unfortunate.
3. I'm going to tell you what, this is going to succeed, but there's going to be a complication. And the complication is going to be that Kozlov looks at you, AC, and then looks at Cole and says, sir, I believe we have solution, but problem is it involves tractor beam, and if what I am reading is correct, we'll burn out tractor beam. But we'll accomplish goal of getting Comet to not be on collision course, so something.
I can fix a broken track. I can fix the tractor beam, or the yards can.
Well, as long as the tractor beam burning up don't burn up the ship too.
We still have grapplers. So we'll have something still.
Are we ready, sir?
Now
we could ask the.
Let me quickly check with the Tholians to see if we can add their engines to ours. That might give us a little bit of a boost. So I'm going to contact Commander Pearlzine and ask him that question.
You've repaired our vessel by the sounds of it?
We have, Commander.
Then I would formally request that you return us there immediately.
All right, we can do that. And then when you're there, if you would coordinate with our helm officer to help divert this comet into a stable orbit, then we can work on getting out of it.
Very good, sir. I will interface with your helm officer best we can.
Excellent. Thank you, Commander.
There's
Thalen to transporter room 1.
Yeah. You beam them back to their ship, and Kozlov on the bridge does confirm that they are receiving and presumably beginning to move their engines in a way that would assist in what you're about to do. However, a momentum was spent, an advantage was created that you downloaded their entire computer. And I think instead, what everybody who is on the bridge and paying attention to scans, especially Cole, since you usually sit at tactical, the engines stop powering up. Instead, their weapons begin to charge, and they attempt to start getting a lock on you.
Moments like these, I'm very glad that we did not turn off our shields.
Yeah. Drake to Commander Pearlzine.
There is no reply.
Commander Pearlzine, why are you locking weapons?
Roll me a presence command difficulty of 2. And persuasion negotiation would work here.
Composure?
I'll give you composure. That'd work. Only 1.
Well, that doesn't help.
Yeah, I'm going to say you don't get a reply.
All right. AC, Cole, how much power can we divert to shields and still maintain the necessary thrust?
Let me see what I can do. I was going to help here. I think I need to be an engineer.
All right. Do what you need to.
So I will go to engineering.
You're also muted, Cole, as is tradition.
Almost the whole session we got through before.
Mm-hmm.
This close.
Yeah, so close. No, can't hear you now.
That better?
Yes.
Yes.
I flipped the little mute button, didn't even realize it. New headphones, go figure.
Yeah. That button will get you.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Zoom and no problem. Okay. We might also have a way to go back in and shut them off remotely.
I'm sorry.
How would we do
what?
that?
How?
Because we had to hack into their system to override the security system to shut it down so we could work on the engines.
So we still have that control.
Never really turned it away.
Okay.
Ain't that handy?
Well, let's give them a minute. But if they get a lock,
They got a lock.
shut them down.
We will shut them down.
Shut their weapons down.
Roger, we will shut their weapons down.
Do not shut everything else down. Just shut the weapons down.
Yeah, I should have done that when I was down there. You hear that Cole mumble under his breath. So AC went down to go work the other problem.
Yes.
Lieutenant Zajan,
Yes.
give her the access and protocols that we had from the EXO special tricorder.
Yeah.
See if you can use this to shut down their weapons from here.
Well, normally I would say, sir, that is crazy and insane and impossible, but I'm looking at your tricorder here, and man, that is... I didn't know you were intelligent, sir.
I'm not.
I feel like there's a story here that I need to hear.
There's a story here.
Well, sir, I can confirm that the Tholian weapons have been shut off, but how long that remains to be the case, I have no idea.
We'll keep an eye on it and keep diddling with it where we can.
All right,
They're very happy right now.
let's make this quick. This is going to end in a diplomatic incident. In the meantime, Kozlov, give me the controls for the dragon communication device, and I am going to try to communicate with it images of releasing things stuck to it.
Okay.
And
Now, order of operations here. Are you going to move the comet, then send the images, or send the images, then move the comet?
I think move the comet first, because I do not want to try to engage the engines and then pull a Ricky.
Fair. Now, the good news is that since we are reaching the end of session and you guys have been beaten to hell and back with the dice, I'm just going to throw you a little bit of a bone here. So you engage in the sort of quote-unquote strongman pull, where you nudge the comet just enough that it's now in a elliptical orbit of the sun. And after you accomplish that, Captain, you send over the images of the, spider letting go of something in its web, or, some form of analog, and you all feel a shudder throughout the ship. You are now free to move about as much as you want. The Tholians can also move, and the Tholians begin to bug out as fast as possible back towards Tholian space.
Better than killing us.
All right. Well, I anticipate getting a visit from the Starfleet Diplomatic Corps. I will take that responsibility when it comes, so don't worry about that. But in the meantime, excellent job, crew. We got ourselves out of a sticky situation and also saved a spacefaring life form.
Thank you, sir. Unless we forget, we did gather a lot of very valuable information on the Tholians.
That is also true.
More than we bargained for.
And we
the
did.
Sounds of it more than they bargained for.
That too. And we did confirm that you can't trust the Tholian.
I suppose so. Well, it probably would not be a great idea to stick around here too long, in case the Tholians decide to send more ships back here to find us. But Zygen, I would like to leave a Class 1 probe, or Class 2, behind to monitor the dragon and see what happens.
Roll launch, sir.
Something just to kind of put in the back of your mind, sir, while you've been sending pictures back and forth to the dragon, you might send it images of spiders being bad and space spiders being very bad,
so that it doesn't ensnare any other vessels.
Also, it doesn't deal with Tholians.
Oh. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
There's something on Tholian shaped ships or along those lines.
So I'd like to imagine, at least how I'm rationalizing it, is like you show a picture of a Tholian vessel and then you immediately flash like a burning sun, and then you go back to the you just keep crossing them until like every time it thinks of a Tholian ship, it thinks burning sun, or at least that's how I'm just
more or less. Yeah.
And happy thoughts about us.
Effect, yeah.
So after some questionable, perhaps, interfacing with the dragon, that is where we're going to end. We're just going to kind of pull back as the comet kind of enters into that orbit of the star, and we see the Drake pull away and go to warp back towards Federation space. That is the end of our two-parter. What'd you guys think?
Wow, nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
I enjoyed it. That was fun.
Yeah.
So I again,
your pants.
Again, I do have to give a shout out. This was originally a mission brief from the Utopia Planitia sourcebook that recently came out. We just, of course, put the ELH flair on it. But yeah, would recommend that if you like briefs like this, the Utopia Planitia book is chock full of them that I will continually chop up and run because they're just that good. But yeah, other than that, good session, everyone. Twitch, stick around because we're going to raid somebody, but YouTube, this is where we say goodbye. Bye, YouTube.